Antino below the 200. Sir Delius wearing it down. Sir Delius takes the lead from Antino via Sistina. Sir Delius, take note, the real deal. Sir Delius.
Welcome to Bet Doctor, behind the curtain, look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot. I'm here with John Happy Feet Walter.
I just want to report to all the viewers that Nick Heatchote is a very unprofessional, what would you call it?
Operator.
Host. Operator.
Yeah.
This is his 17th take at trying to get the opening going.
Like, we've left a lot on the cutting room floor on the intro of the show, but it's going to be a belter. I've just got that feeling everyone's in the right sort of mood. Nico is away. He's had a death in the family, so condolences there. So GK's a super sub. How are you, GK?
Yeah, going well. Very excited for the races in both Sydney and Melbourne, and there's some interesting races up in Brisbane as well.
Beautiful stuff. I know GK is a big Broncos fan, but I did have to check the packaging, but we did get something sent in from one of the viewers of the show to try and help us with backing more winners. And it wasn't GK. I know that he's a big Broncos man, but someone called Darren F has sent us a toilet in, a big Broncos fan from Southport. Might help us back a couple of winners if we start lapping up the water. Well,
The big fella.
thanks for that. If you want to send us any more packages.
We might want to send it back to him after his horse got beaten the first at Doomben yesterday, but they've had a big couple of weeks, the old Broncos Lions fans, haven't they? And whatever Reece Walsh is on, I'm happy to drink it out of a toilet or whatever it is because he was in overdrive.
We might need it. We might need it after last week and after yesterday as well. We've been hit with a couple of shockers. Last week, Cosmo Centaurus won, which was good. Autumn Glow was a good winner for us, but Pericles was a disaster. We were sort of chips in it. And it just wasn't up in the firing line, which I thought there was a slight advantage
When it
up
was
on
when it was behind Autumn Glow.
No, well,
but you knew you were in trouble.
knew we were in big trouble there. But the track to my eye was praying pretty hard and fast, and it didn't hurt to be in the first couple of pairs. So when Pericles wasn't there out of its normal pattern, gee, I thought it still ran well. But
there was a little twinge on the bend when it tracked up behind her, and she looked like she was in neutral, and then all of a sudden she hit the Reece Walsh, and he hit the not like Uncle Bjorn Wall. No, he battled on well.
No, I thought he went super. Jimmy started a really good job with the pattern included. I thought Etna Rossa was so bad, but I sort of said that last week. If it does get dry, it doesn't go a yard. Aliana, we tipped up. Maybe half a forgive of the horse is just not there. Antino.
She's the one, I don't know. You'd just be very happy to be with half yours over her, I think, wouldn't you, in the Caulfield Cup if they both line up there? And I probably
Aliana.
a chance of not going there or something. Is she?
Aliana's tail between legs back to Sydney and maybe Paddock.
Yeah, I thought a couple of runs in a row, she's just not hitting the line late.
And I thought Antino was super. I know all the talk's been around Sir Delius, but Antino, GK, I know you're in love with the horse. He did a great job. Like, he was the biggest run of the race in my opinion, in terms of race not panning out, Blake pulling the trigger, and he just emptied out that last 200.
Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I think it's really interesting to see the way the market has continued to oppose it. Like, it was still double figures, Antino there. I thought that was the wrong price. The race really centered on Williams getting a really big stroke of luck to get in on Sir Delius at about 300 or 400 meters after the start. And, that left Antino posted. So, he did all the donkey work. And I also just think the platform wasn't right for any of those horses coming out of the Mackay. So, hard to not be impressed by Sir Delius. But I think Antino was fantastic as well. And I think it's still the wrong price in the Cox Plate. Like, there's still $6 or $7 around. There's no way Antino should be $6 or $7.
Yeah, you'll get that too. I think you might get better, but there's no speed in the Cox Plate. It's weird. They could be left up in front, the two of them. Yeah, I thought it was a good ride from Shin, all things considered. But yeah, that's gone well.
My little sneaky backdoor Caulfield Cup horse, Deacon. I think he's on target as well. Can't believe bookies can still get $26 out there. So I'd be snapping that up. I think he's about 15th order of entry, so he's going to be there. Satcham ran second as well, so that was another big result. We'll get Beat the Bagman on in a second because there's big stories brewing in SA, and it's alleged that Daryl Carrison has got an EPO positive. So the jungle drums were beating around this news. It's not new news, or there's been rumour for the last sort of month or so that this has been a thing.
Is that the bloke from the castle? Is it Daryl Kerrigan?
Daryl Kerrigan. May as well be.
No wonder his greyhounds used to look so well fed there.
Oh dear. So still awaiting any news out of SA Racing. It's the radio silence there. So whether they're trying to get more evidence to sort of stick that, but yeah, the cat's out of the bag definitely. Mark Latham got escorted by police from Randwick. It's taking a positive turn in his direction in the mainstream news from the other stories that we hear. It's there's someone that had leaked personal information, and that's going to go to court. So in a strange twist of events, I think Latham's going to come out on top here.
Yeah, it's tricky, you know. Like you watch it, and within an hour of him being escorted, it's in the Telegraph. You know, he said he went through checkpoints, spoke to ATC directors.
And he hasn't been banned.
With everyone. Yeah, he says he's never had correspondence, but it all seemed orchestrated that they've called them. Yeah.
The cop.
Whatever.
Do you think having let him go to the Rosehill meeting, they sort of had a rough idea that he'd be at the Randwick one and set it all up?
That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
Crazy, isn't it?
Like, yeah, it's
a different world.
It's hard to watch. And Paul, like, he's obviously an opinionated dude, and he sort of thrives on, everything that he gets involved in, I think. But this is just getting a bit crazy. And, just everyone who is opinionated seems to
get alienated.
Be up against it at some point.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we'll talk about the New South Wales scenario in a few minutes as well, because Chris Waller, you go watch Chris Waller's video and see what he reckons about the prize money thing. I don't know, people say the patent and prize money don't matter, but he's taken the PISS out of New South Wales dramatically in his video
What's
yesterday.
This race that we're looking at this week? Alan Brown. It's the Epsom field. It's a racing a week after the Epsom, and it's for $2 million. No one knows what the race is. It's like, why is it there?
Classic. And then the other thing that they're trying to do in New South Wales is the Golden Mingle. So they've moved the Golden Eagle to Randwick and decided to have a traffic light party on the 1st of November. So people dress in red, orange and green, and it's going to be a dating thing. Is that their idea to combat the birdcage?
On top of the $10,000 for your best pickup line. And that's not a joke. They're putting a $10,000 contest for your best pickup line on the back of that.
You got one for us, GK? Your pickup line? How did you snare the missus? Any pickup line at a club that you got for us?
I don't remember because I was so drunk. So that was usually how I went about it. Was
fill your boots.
Fill your boots and then see what happens.
Oh, mate, they could be onto something.
My pickup line I said was, how did Desert Lightning get 59 in a Toorak? That'd be my pickup line. Holy shit.
Ah, gosh. It's a funny little world up in New South Wales, its own little bubble. You've got a hosted pot. You got the double up, Walt. We've got the graphic on the screen. Saturday, Sunday, R-Watch 25, and you've got a lot of work to do and a lot of races to cover. So I'll try.
I thought you were in the chair this week too. I was depressed when I saw that I got to go triple this week, but I was hoping you'd share the love. But yeah, well, at least we've got something to work. Last Sunday, they were non-tab events with that Metro meeting on, and then so hopefully this Sunday's a little bit better. But Saturday, we've definitely no excuses with what we've got to work with. Yeah,
I really enjoyed last Saturday. I think I set up about 10 horses to sort of win 5 and 10,000 at various stages throughout the day, and they all pretty much run second or third.
Banker horse got in, which was even worse, isn't it? Like the old the Brisbane horse. And
then the other thing I did, I backed Beauty close. It went from 20s to 60s and ran second to Disneck, the Hong Kong horse. And then I thought, I'll throw a Hail Mary out and try and back a couple of roughies. Shadizi in the last. It had a barrier trial at last at Flemington. Went enormous. And then the other horse I backed was the perennial tease, Von Hawk.
Yeah, it went good too.
And it went enormous as well. So, they were too good for me, the bookies, last Saturday. And it was a very frustrating day, all said and done.
Wish I found Valiant King in the quaddie. Holy shit, that would have been a nice effort. How good did it go? But
yeah.
Anyway.
I think about, 2 Caulfield Cups ago, I think he got stood on his head. So he was in my black book from then.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll let it have a couple of expletives.
Speed. So that was probably what brought him into the race too. But it was amazing how dominant he was.
Yeah, it was an interesting one. Revelare finally into a fast run race, and just sectionally there's no wow. So I haven't heard what Robert Hickmon has said, but was the horse heart fit? What was it doing there? And I'm still jury out with that runner.
Yeah, he'll show up in a nice mile, benchmark 88 somewhere.
Let's kick off the show. GK's going to super sub for Caulfield, Might and Power Toorak Guineas, and he's going to throw in race 10 to give us the Irrits. Up at Rosehill, we've got the out of nowhere $1 million or $1.5 million Alan Brown, the Hill Stakes, the Tapp-Craig. We've got the Lucky Last at Eagle Farm. We'll try and make sense of that. And then we'll probably cover one at Eagle Farm because we've got the extended Melbourne-Sydney preview. We got Sugar Shane Adair. He's back. I think last week's the first time he didn't tip a winner from his set. But
he's got a better background than you do.
Yeah, mate, that's great. He's in the Little Birdie Adelaide studio. How are you, brother?
Good, guys. Thanks for the warm welcome. What have I walked into here? Pickup lines and how to win over the ladies and traffic light report parties and all this sort of stuff. What's going on?
Mate, the last traffic light party that I went to was probably 20 years ago. I thought they didn't exist, but that'd still be a thing down Hindley Street in South Australia. You guys are a bit behind the times. It'd still be a thing.
Huge, yeah. I think just begging worked for me back in the day, Scoot. So, yeah, it got me to where I am today. So with a face like this, mate, you just got to plead. That's all you can do.
Oh, Tiffin, you're doing very well for yourself. Mate, EPO scandal.
Yep.
Dare you even tackle it?
Yeah, well, turned out Sav wasn't on ice. He was on EPO. So it was a interesting sort of finding during the week. Obviously not great for the industry, any of that sort of stuff coming to the surface. I think Daryl Carrison is going to fight the penalty. So we'll see what plays out of there. And as you said, radio silence from Racing SA thus far, but never good to shine the spotlight on those sort of things. But yes, Sav has been running very well. That's all I'll say.
He's got form, this bloke, I think. Is it 2017 or 2019 he got rubbed out?
Yes. Yeah, he has. He's already served an 8-month suspension previously. Look, was king of Port Lincoln there for a good decade, training the house down over there. Look, nice guy. I've met Daryl a few times. He's a really top bloke. But, yes, unfortunate this has come to the surface.
I think he's in a lot of trouble. I think if you get rubbed out for 8 months, I'm tipping this could be curtains. What do you think, John?
Oh, I've seen some amazing things at Port Lincoln over the years, and they make more sense now. Let's just put it that way.
Beautiful. Let's get into Murray Bridge. It's Murray Bridge Cup on Saturday, and Beat the Bagman's going to chime in to race one. Shock horror. It's a 1,000-metre race. It's the Bridge Carpet Court, Andrew Mills, 1,000 guineas. So hope you have a good day out there, Andrew. Virtual Illusion is $2.10. Golden Horizon $3.10. Snelly Gaster $6. Might mean something else there. You're a Wizard Harry, $8. Fine Ace $8, and Madam Moneybags. This is like picnic race names here. Caitlin Munro is a 3 kilo claimer on Virtual Illusion, who was an impressive winner. First up, Bagman for the Jolly Camp.
Yeah, certainly was. It tried well leading into this and met with support on race day. And when I saw it pop up in race one, I had to pick it early because I know Walt loves to get the work done early in Adelaide. But as we can see, Virtual Illusion in the yellow sleeves, widest runner, powering to the line. Still doesn't look like it's going to pick up the leader and really lets down hard in that last 50 metres. The bridge will suit it. It's a real run on track for listeners to this podcast. They will fan out to the middle of the track. Virtual Illusion will find that part. It does lose a little bit with Caitlin Munro going on from Jake Toorak, I feel, but the 3 kilo claim brings it in really well. It's got better races than this install. 210, I think you quoted there, Scoot, is good shopping for mine. I've got it marked odds on, and we should be starting the day with the collect.
Yeah, Golden Horizon, I went through its replays, and 1,000 metres would probably pull it up. Needs to come back a much better and stronger horse, I would have thought, if it's going to hold out a horse like Virtual Horizon, especially on a big track.
Agree, yeah. You need to be strong at the distance range at the bridge. You've got a really long straight. It's usually blowing a gale out there too. So you need a strong horse that can run the trip. Virtual Illusion gave every, I guess, possibility from that replay that 1,100, 1,200 metres is probably more its go, and it ran a really slick last 600, winning on at the Parks there. And in a position that I've spoken about before is $1 million position, really, $1 million to 1 position when turning wide and out there, and it's one against the bias of that track. I think there's better races in store, and I think hopefully we'll get the cash for race one and we can load our pockets up for the afternoon.
Small field should help too.
We treat all jockeys as equals here. There's no downgrades, upgrades, none of that, okay? All jockeys are equals. They've all got the same amount of ability. Every horse is given its chance by every jockey.
Born again.
Yeah. Okay, Walt. I'll just nod and smile, mate.
Jesus. Told you it's going to be an interesting show at the start of it. Everyone's lost their mind. Must be starting to get too deep into spring and everyone's burning the midnight oil doing form. Race 4 is the next one. It's the M&B Constructions Reg Nolan Flying Handicap over 1,200 metres. Fancify, $2.20, Prairie Flower, $3.70. Both these horses are nominated in the lucky last at Caulfield, which is strange, confronting and alarming, but par for the course in 2025, where you can nominate as many places you like and drive us all crazy. Press Down, $4.40. Chicago Storm, $10. Dubai Focus, $10. Michael Leifer, $21, and Cathell is $23. Let's have a look at that Fancify Prairie Flower replay. And Prairie Flower is right at the back in the blue and the lime, tacking on out wide. Fancify is in the white and the navy, and sort of got snagged severely, Prairie Flower.
Yeah, look, this was a 1,000,000-to-1 shot turning from home. They didn't run hard in this event either, and they've run home in a tick over 33. Prairie Flower's smashed the clock in its last 600, hitting the line well. You go back through Prairie Flower's form. I'll get my tongue around that. Not Mary Fowler, the soccer player, but Prairie Flower. Good runs in the Goodwood Sangster. There's a really good run behind us for her, which reads pretty well now as well in its last 3 starts. It's a really good 1,200-metre horse. I think the nomination for Caulfield as well and acceptance there is also a positive sign that the Clark and Stable's willing to travel over there for it. The horse is going really well. It's a bold move going against Michael Hickmon on Murray Bridge Cup Day. He usually trains the house down on this day. It's usually just a fill up for his stable, and Fancify is obviously well regarded in the market. I had them both marked around that 6-4 sort of quote. I thought it was a real race in 2. I think they put up $4 about our selection. It got smashed when markets went up, and I think we'll be getting the cash. Another horse that will be suited by the Murray Bridge setup in 1,200 metres, and I think we'll go 2 from 2, and we'll be happy days. Good.
Okay. Putting my annoying hat on, Devil's Advocate, Fancify and Prairie Flower, they both get scratched and they go to Melbourne. How are we going to bet on the race then?
Well, it's going to be a very, very small field then. I think I'd be looking to a horse like Press Down for mine to get the job done. But look, I think we'd be heading off to the bar if both of those get scratched, and we'll figure out race 5, I think.
They'd work it out between them, wouldn't you? If you're going to Melbourne, Jesus, Fancify is well placed in Melbourne, whereas Prairie's probably got a bigger task there. You think it would run in Adelaide most certainly if one of them has to run there.
Good to see you done your Adelaide homework. And just quickly, without notice, Murray Bridge Cup, Savo Nice, he's running, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes at a $6 chance with everything that we've said earlier on the program.
Would you be expecting a regression?
A regression? Oh, it definitely would be Walt. Could you imagine if Savon Ice wins by 6 lengths? The riot on track from the 6 people that will be there.
You'd be running to the bookie to get paid quick, wouldn't you? Holy cow!
I know they used to boo horses at jockeys off the track when I was a young fella going to the races. I think times have changed a little bit now, but we might get as close to those days if Savon Ice was to bolt in. I think
if you're going to get life. Well, what's one more you thrust?
Just go for it, you reckon?
What's one final thrust?
Others have done it. Others have done similar.
Wow. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, Maricourt probably needs to improve far too much. I thought he was the horse best targeted, but he was a little flat last time, so intriguing race.
Yeah, not a strong addition of the Cup from previous years. Our horse that we selected on here, What a Deal, that one impressively has gone up favour and looks well suited. So, yeah, it's not a strong addition of it. I thought one from Surprise, the Clark and Yard would run well, number 9, Cartoon Graveyard, which is first run for the stable, previous from Tasmania. But, look, just a race for the Murray Bridge edition this year, unfortunately.
And I'd 1,600 bought a deal on a really big track. I think that'd be probably out of limit for that horse. So, yeah, I'll probably leave the way of Carter and Graveyard. Suck run, barrier 1, unless the fence is off. Bagman, good to see you in the Adelaide studio. Hopefully got some more decorations, and expect you to dress up in red, green or amber to let us know next week if you're available or not.
How good's the setup here? Bet Doctor's obviously flying, just sitting in the Adelaide studio here. Happy days, Scoot.
Yeah.
See you guys next week.
Can't wait. All right, we'll have to get the merch and get a little Adelaide depot as well. So to get the hats rolling out there, I've been really slack on that, guys, and I'll try and put up some link, or I'll post a link for Little Birdie hats, because I know some people want to buy them. So yeah, I'll do that.
Can't even get one. I know I do have one. Austin wears it to tennis.
There you go.
Can't even bitch.
Let's have a look at Caulfield. And as I mentioned, the weather's perfect all of the eastern states. There is a bit of rain around Saturday night, so I think all the racing is going to get through unscathed, but keep a close eye on that in case it comes early. But I would expect, and I'm wary, that a couple of these tracks are really going to dry out. Let's get stuck into race 6 first. There's only a small field here for the Group 1 Might and Power, over 2,000 metres, and Treasure of the Moment's favourite here, $1.75 now at Ladbrokes, $2.60 Buckaroo, Globe $7, Light Infantry Man $14, and $51 for his Shocker. Replay we're going to have a look at here is Treasure of the Moment at the Valley. GK, we spoke about this last week, but what do you think of it?
Yeah, look, I thought it was definitely a pass mark. Obviously, the track was hard to make ground, so I thought the race shape was interesting here. Like Prada Jenny, I thought Declan did something a little bit different. Like he didn't go out as hard as he did straight away, where he kind of held back a little bit to about the 800, and then he took off. And look, I think it just caught Treasure of the Moment flat-footed and maybe a little bit soft coming off that setback. But look, I think probably needed that run. I think it's going to come on a lot from that. I think what we're going to see here is, Globe's going to take it out and sort of bowl along like it does. And I presume Lane sort of just sits off at 2 lengths or something and tries to pick it up in the straight. And then it's just really, to me, it's whether Buckaroo could probably run Treasure of the Moment down. I don't think so, but I think it depends on how much Treasure of the Moment has sort of come on from that run.
I think it's a really good litmus test to see whether she loves 2,000 metres or not, John. That's sort of my thinking. If Buckaroo outstays her and she's better suited now to sort of 1,400 fresh and then a mile, that's my thinking. And the prices don't really appeal to me, so I'm just going to let the race go.
Yeah, I just reverse them, I guess. This is the day you find out whether she's still alive or not, and agree. Like, she's only been in the Phillies races up to this distance and beyond before. She definitely looked the winner there coming to the bend to me, and like the sections weren't, she didn't do a lot of work chasing, so there weren't really any excuses for her. It was well rated on the winner, but it had a far worse setup, even though Treasure of the Moment was coming off a setback. So it was a pass mark, but this is the race where you find out if she's alive or not. And she's got a real horse that's going to sit right up a clacker and stalk her everywhere and try and beat her. So, yeah, I think Buckaroo should be favourite. And, if you've got the balls to chime into Treasure of the Moment here and say she's back and she's ready to rumble, I think you should be rewarded with a lot better price than $1.75. So I think Buckaroo should be favourite. He's done nothing wrong. Both his runs back have been excellent. And he's had a faultless preparation. He's proven 2,000 metres beyond. He's got all the ticks in all the boxes. She's still got to prove that she's back with a vengeance. So, I think Buckaroo should be favourite.
Sweet. What do you think the market's going to do, though? Do you reckon the market's going to...
I don't know.
Follow
I can't see them starting this far apart. I think they've got to start very close together in the market. Yeah, I think. Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if it started evens Buckaroo 2-1 with Treasure of the Moment. Wouldn't be like, she can't short. It's not possible.
There you go. Fascinating contest, even though it's a very, very small field. Let's have a look at race 7. It's the Group 1 Toorak Handicap. Sepples is the favourite, $3.60. Lazura $5.50. Evaporate $6. Transatlantic $7. Like a Lucy $9. Feroce $13. Damas Rose $14. Willie Do It, dual nomination, $17. Desert Lightning, $18. Athanatos, $18. And then Pinstripe, $31. Let's have a look at a couple of replays here. This is Evaporate, and I thought there was a lot of merit in this run. He was off a slight setback. Blake set him alight at the 1,000-metre mark. The horse was on fumes. Transatlantic's been up and firing and was there to beat him, and just all heart this last 100 metres to hold him off. When I saw the replay this morning, I thought, wow, that the run was even bigger than I thought, and there's little old Von Hawk flashing into the screen in the white and the pink. This is Feroce, Nico's 30-1 tip GK, and Damas Rose is there, and Sepples is out in front. Angel Capital, the horror story, GK.
Yeah, you see Feroce sort of getting across heels there, second from the outside. I thought it was a really positive run. I think, the way it finished off there is really positive. Obviously, race shape suited. Seppels went out really quick. But I thought the first 4 across the line were all excellent there. And I think step up to the mile is really going to suit Feroce. Yeah, I think it's right in the game here, and I think it does have some tactical versatility. So, if they decided to do so, they could push forward here. There's not overwhelming tempo in the race. Like, I think there's some question marks about which do decide to go forward. Like, Transatlantic rolls forward. Do they roll forward again on Seeples? I presume they do. So then there's a bit of a question mark. Who is second, third pair there? They could do so on Feroce and. Look, I think Feroce is one of the runners here that the mile is no problem, and I think there are potential queries on a few others at the mile. Like I personally have a query about Transatlantic at 1600. I'm not sure about Transatlantic at Caulfield either. Usually its best runs are Sandown, Flemington, Eagle Farm, so it's looking for the big track. So, yeah, I think whatever the price is for Feroce, $13, $14, I think that's overs. I've had something small on it already, but there's a number of others that decent prices that I want to have a small bet on as well.
Willie Dewitt's the other one that we'll have a look at, and we're sort of going back nearly a month, and he's in the Maya Racehorse colours back on the inside of the fence, and Pericles wins this race in the blue, and we've just seen how well Pericles has performed against Autumn Glow, and he really just weaves his way and savages the line nicely, Willie Dewitt, and he was scratched last week from the Epsom with an eye injury, so he's had some grass or he's found a way to be come out of the race. But he's a tricky one because he's in the Alan Brown. He's off the scene for a while, so he's probably got that freshness. So he's going to be fit enough, but still in as a mystery. Like he's listed at Bong Bong, I think. He's probably just still in the hyperbaric chamber doing his best work in there, and God knows where he's going to turn up. But I'd prefer to see him in the Toorak, personally.
Yeah, he's a big price too. I thought he'd be a bit shorter on spec. Like he should be closer to. Yeah, there's really two chances. Seppels and Evaporate off their lead-up runs like that. Seppels run in the Rupert Clark was insane. And as long as it's sort of drawn the inside of the speed, which is dangerous because if it gets put to the fence and then others sort of go past it. But I think they'll probably try and hold out horses like Lazura and even sort of Desert Lightning, Feroce, and then, might end up behind a horse like Transatlantic and wouldn't need as much luck. But yeah, its run last start was astronomical. And like you said, Evaporate was a 42-day break. It was just insane as well. So they're both drawn well enough to take luck out of the equation here, hopefully. And, they've got plenty on the rest off that, like the different form lines. I thought I can't have Lazura, I can't have Transatlantic. Like a Lucy was huge. First up, it's dangerous, but, it's going to be out the back. So I honestly think something's got to happen to those two for the others to get into the race. And then it's a bit of a luck game, whether it's, Feroce, Willie Dewitt, like a Lucy, Damask Rose, not really. Athanatos needs everything to go its way. All of them look like they need favours, whereas Seppels and Evaporate look like if they get runs in transit that are anywhere near fair, they're gonna be in the finish.
Yeah, I thought Evaporate had come up sort of clear favourite in the $3 price range. So if I had a market, I'd be around the wrong way. So I'd have Evaporate sort of $3.50. I'd have Seppels around $6, and I'll be double figures Lazura, double figures Transatlantic. There's just no world. If it'd be shocking luck for Transatlantic to turn the tables on Evaporate. And I think, everything else is going to get too far out the back and really wary in terms of how Caulfield's going to play by that stage. And I think he's just a lot better horse than I thought he was, Evaporate. He's just put the writing on the wall there last start.
Muffs off.
And you go back to his first up run behind, was it Mr. Brightside or whatever in the Lawrence over that 1,400 metres it was a car crash watch.
Yeah, and he's he's a bit of a machine when things go his way. He's got the right jockey on, and hopefully he doesn't have to do the work he did last start, and he can save that finish up. And that's what I mean. Like they both just look bomb-proof to me. I marked them very close in betting, and then quite a gap to sort of double figures Transatlantic, Lazura, and $9 like a Lucy. If it just those sort of swoopers seem to be more scary if they just go crazy in front or something weird happens.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a brute of a horse, just like the way he moves as well, Evaporate. So interesting. I'm a little bit surprised you found Seeples, but he's a go-forward horse.
Lead-up run was just insane. How could you not find it? Like, as in, how can it not? It's just a bomb-proof horse. 350, I agree, is probably a bit tight, but it's a bomb-proof horse.
GK?
I lean Seeples out of those in the market. Like, I just think that Rupert Clark is the right form line. Like, the tempo that it went out on, and yes, they were obviously coming late on it, but that was an enormous run. Like, if times and sectionals mean anything, Seppels has to be favourite in this race of mine. I've got a little query on that Sandown form line. Like, I thought I would be firmly in the Evaporate camp, and like, I did like the run, and I don't think Transatlantic can turn the tables on it personally. But I don't know, there's something about that makes me think that it could be a bit icky and not the right form line. And it's also just the tactical versatility here where, we've seen Evaporate take off there at Sandown, but I think Seeples naturally has more tactical speed. And I think it's going to be ahead of it in the run. So for me, that means that Seeples has to be the favourite here personally. It's really about pattern though, for like all of these races at Caulfield, and, your thinking could change. I will definitely be putting Like a Lucy, Willie Do It, Feroce, and I probably will even throw Pinstriped in the quaddie because that was also a pretty good run up the inside in the Rupert Clark, just in a wide quaddie. But yeah, look, I have Seeples pretty clear favourite.
All right, let's keep rolling because we've got so many races to get through. Race 8 is the Caulfield Guineas over 1,600 metres, and the favourite here is Wodenton, $3.50 favourite from Autumn Boy $4.80, Navy Pilot $6, Vinrock $8.50, Wester Swindon $14, Nepotism $16, Planet Red $17, Romantic Encounter $21, and you've got Rivellino $26, Observer $27, High Vol, Space Rider, and big odds for the rest of the horses in this race. First one we're going to have a look at is the Golden Rose as the lead up. Historically, it's a real good one. You got Wodenton down there in the Coolmore. You got Rivellino in the red and the green, and you got Nepotism and Autumn Boy sort of coming down the outside. Baywalk looked the obvious winner of this race, but they've decided to change course with that horse. Walt, you tell us.
And the only danger out of this race looks Skyhook. They're both not here, so yeah. Well, Autumn Boy sat back and wide working when they were going a lot faster than what it seemed, and never got in, never got cover. So. You've just got to judge heavily, swaps gates here, and whether that run
gutted it.
Not gutted, it's just gutted it. How good was it in comparison to Wodenton, who had the slipstream and finished obviously a lot closer to the winner, but can it finish an inch closer no matter what happens in that race? And then, whether jury's out a bit on Nepotism and Rivellino sort of just battling back in there. But the two Waller runners are probably the two that you've got to measure that run up in particular. Can you get them a lot closer together here with a gate swap?
Are they going to finally put Nepotism into the race with Vinrock drawn wide in 14? He's going to go forward. Is there any chance that Blakeshin pushes a few pairs closer? Because Nepotism looked like it threw its head around last time and didn't really like it. Here's the Stut Stakes, and Vinrock missed the kick badly by about 3 lengths. You got Wester Swindon up in the firing line, and then the other horse for the Hayes camp, Romantic Encounters there. This isn't a fast run race, and it was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, I thought the second horse was probably the run of the race here, and Vinrock was a complete forgive. The winner was just absolutely gifted it like it was his birthday, Christmas, Hanukkah, bloody whatever, any New Year's, if you can put it, Thanksgiving rolled into one. So at second start, I thought the horse outside the leader was the better run of the two there, and Vinrock to me is a horse that he's drawn in the doldrums here. He's going to have to be very, very good to win from out there.
The other horse we'll have a look at is Navy Pilot, and I backed this horse last start. It got the PR, but I think this horse is just still so green and learning. I found him in the JJ Atkins. He was like a drunken sailor that day.
Doesn't look like it wants to win anywhere here until the last 50 metres. Then it goes, oh, hang on, I'm in a race. So it's an absolute punish of a horse, isn't it? Like, it's obviously got really good ability. It ran up to win first up.
Yep.
It's just whether, like you say, it's got rats in its head and it's going to put it all together in a race of this nature or not.
GK, tricky race.
Definitely. A race I do not have a good record in historically, and I've been burnt a number of times on Sydney horses in this race. I found this exceedingly difficult, but if I was going to have a good bet in the race, it would be Autumn Boy. I'm prepared to forgive it. The Golden Rose, like as Walt said, like it just never got in, never got cover. And it just looks like, I'm not sure how far back it's going to get here. Maybe they try to be a little bit more positive. I guess it could be maybe 3 back rail or something like that, but it's going to do no work. And if it gets the breaks, I could see it exploding here. I personally have it favourite over Wotan. I think it's a better animal than Wotan personally. So look, that would be how I would play it out of those in the market. I'm not sold on most of the really exposed Melbourne form. One that is at bigger price that I'm interested in is this Colt Observer. Really strange setup, really strange prep, but I think this thing might have some ability, and I think it's just going to roll forward and lead here. So I don't know, it's like $30 or something. Look, I have had something small on it already. It could be just one with the ultimate DF here, and might be one that still has some upside that we haven't seen, because a lot of these we've seen them go round and round, and I'm not sure that there's many here that we think have a lot of ability.
Yeah, this is a tricky race for me. I'm not really sure what to do. I think I'm going to be playing small. I think everyone's going to find Woderton, which they have. But, yeah, I'm not convinced that, a Miles what he wants either. But rationally, I think you need to probably respect the fast time that they ran out of the Golden Rose. So, new rider, maybe different tactics, small play nepotism at $16 or sort of $18 outside of the market. Probably was the only bet that I could try and find. But, yeah, I really respect a horse like Romantic Warrior sort of jumping up through the grades. And then, again, Navy Pilot wouldn't surprise me if he improves a lot. Jamie Mellum going back on. Not sure if I'm loving Mellum at the moment, or Jamie. But, yeah, it's not a race that I'm going to tie my wagon to make money for the day. Well, final thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think Autumn Boy's the only horse you could possibly back. As in, with any sort of confidence, as in, it looks like a Milo, looks like his old man, draw, he's going to improve. Obviously, sometimes inside draws can be tough there, but yeah, I think getting a soft run in these sort of Guineas races and then navigating is definitely the option rather than having to sort of circle or sit wide. So, yeah, I think that's a big advantage. I've always hated Woderton. I've never really liked the horse, but going through his form, it is solid. Like, he's never run poorly, really. I think everyone just sort of got carried away with his first start on that wet track and thought he was, a born again, whatever, a resurrection of something. But he's been solid all the way. And so, he's got a good chance, but he's 340's very short. I found the same horse as GK Observer. I thought it went well first up against that Freedman Import against older horses. I just thought it was a different form, and 30-1 was appealing. I thought Romantic Encounter at 25-1 was very good. It only had 2 starts. It could roll forward as well and be up there with Observer. And I thought Space Rider's just the other horse at 30-1 that was, went really well first up. Then I don't know what happened second up. Then again, it tacked the line last time. So out to a mile and 33-1. They're probably, we're talking about wider quaddies. They're the ones going in. And you've probably got to throw the 2 Waller horses in because they're Waller horses on grand final day.
It's an interesting one, the Caulfield Guineas, to wrap up. I don't really want to talk about the race anymore because it's not worth it. But it's a $3 million Caulfield Guineas. The Golden Rose is worth $1 million. So it's alarm bells.
What amazes me, and it shows you what the impact of these like the breeding is, that they're backing off the 2 most obvious candidates for this race going to the Coolmore. And it just shows you what it's worth to them post-racing, isn't it? Like $3 million is not enough to target this race. I honestly thought it was a layup for Skyhawk to get out in trip and
imagine him leading.
Yeah, and I thought this was just a dead set layup for him, but, they had only eyes for that race. So, they laughed at me when I sort of was like, what are you talking about? You're going to the Coolmore. But
well, they're going to end up
trying to take on Baywak, who to me looks better suited back in distance, especially if they're going to continue to ride him off speed. Anyway.
They're going to probably end up with a toilet or a donut, I would have thought, Skyhook, which is, the horse deserves a lot more, in my opinion.
Yeah, it does. And he could come out and win the Coolmore. He's got a good ability. He just needs sort of get in a rhythm and up on speed, and you could see the true horse come to the front. But yeah, it's just a shame that, like we're saying, there's just no depth to this race, and But it is, Autumn Boy, if you forgive that run, he's the one that's got the upside, hasn't he? If you just forgive that as a total car crash and he was just lost at sea out there the whole way, he's the one that probably carries the torch of not just this race, but into the future, I guess. I don't think Woden's going to get any lofty heights.
Oh, if he's 350, nepotism's a crazy price. GK?
Yeah, I also just think, we need to remember that Autumn Boy was only second up in the Golden Rose. And I know that, that is a pretty common setup for a lot of horses into the Golden Rose. But, what we saw this year with the speed they went out and the way the track played, that it was actually the horses that were third up. Like it was Baywalk and Wotan, who obviously were there in the end. So, look, I just think there's still more improvement out of Autumn Boy. And then just like 14-14 there, it just didn't work for it there, given the race shape. I think out to 1600 here with a more moderate tempo will, allow them to show the change-up speed, which this thing has, which I think that really benefits Autumn Boy here.
Yeah, ideally in life, Waller would have loved to put the the Golden Rose away with Woderton and be coming here with Autumn Boy. I think that was the plan all along. But we'll see what happens.
Good point, GK. Caulfield Race 10 is the lucky last. It's the Hong Kong Jockey Club Northwood Plume Group 3 1200, and Fancify is the favourite $3.40. As we said, dual nom in Adelaide. Amenia is $4.80. She's bulletproof, $6.50 in the Abyss completely. And Gumdrop's $9.50. Vestas $10. Prairie Flower $11. She's got Pizzazz $12. Extra 2 $13. Curve Alont $14. Carabas $34. And then Flyer $51. Couple of replays here. Kick off with Amina in the red down on the fence, runs 5th. Just straight out the back this day. You got Lady Shenandoah wide. Barrakeel's there as well. You got Charm Stone, Payline. All these horses are going pretty good. And I think back to solely mare's grade, I think this horse is going good enough.
Did run like the fastest last 600 of the day, even though it doesn't look like it, and she found the right lane. So there is definitely merit in that run.
Yeah, I'd have her favourite, and I think she's definitely the horse to beat. Obviously, it's going to be a different scenario, drawn 8 this time, and GK found the Fancify, Prairie Flower form line. So we'll just zip through it quickly and probably cost herself, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 lengths early. The smaller field definitely suits Prairie Flower this time in, and as Shane Adair referenced last time, it did have some Asphora form and it raced really well. I think it was in the Oakley Plate, and the little X-Factor horse that you've found here, the hidden one, is Vestas GK. Had some Private Harry form up at the Sunshine Coast, and this is Clint McDonald. It's got it out the back.
Yeah, so this thing had a big rap on it last time in, and came up here for that Sunlight race behind Private Harry. Didn't work out for it there, and then it's had 2 jump outs since then. First jump out exploded and went really well, and then as we've seen, is a bit of a usual pattern with McDonald. Second jump out, I wouldn't say they've necked it. But they've definitely tried to keep a lot in the tank, and I think we've seen that there with that second jump out. Look, I think this thing has a pretty electric turn of foot, and I think Ben going on here is a really positive sign. We're drawn middle. I think this is a really good knockout and a good each-way bet. I've backed Vestas and Prairie Flower already in this race. I just cannot have Fancify here. There's no way I would have it anywhere near this price. I have Amina favorite, but I also think Amina had a lot of benefits in that run at the Valley. Like the last 3 or 4 races at the Valley, like it was just complete rails and run. Like I think it was like barrier 1 or 2, one last 4 races. So it just found the right lane there. It's going to be important how the track's playing. So if they can run on down the middle, I think these two are big threats in this race.
Walt, are you interested to play in the last at Caulfield?
They're Jedi mind fuckers, these races. Like, it should be getting 16.5 kilos off Amina Vestas, and it's only getting 3, So the weights and measures people must just start shaking when they find races like this. But I agree with you. It's an X-Factor horse, and it was the horse I was scared of. But, if you knew that Zara was just going to give it a little dig and follow Fancify straight across on speed, because there is no speed, and that's why Fancify is so short. I agree. It's no chop fancify, but it's going to get the best run of all time on paper. Mina follows it across. It should be 6-4, and then if a horse like Vestas beats you, too good, and you're getting $10. So yeah, I think Amina should be clear favourite. Just hoping that they are positive early, because it looks like they will drop the tempo pretty quickly. And I only think sort of being stuck back and wide will cause her to run poorly. Just looks too nice a race for her. The set weights, everything looks. If she can't win this, where do you take her? Investus is the definite scary horse from a scary stable.
Bag of carrots and leave it at the track.
Not quite, because she's probably worth about 10 mil if you send her to put her on English Digital, but. I think it'll be hard to find a better race for her to be placed in than this. Absolutely.
GK and I might have just added that race to just got a little bit of a Jedi.
The Jedi. So it's sad. Actually, I was filthy when I saw Fancify and Prairie Flower in here, because if they come out, it changes the rate. Like, there's no leader and it becomes a nightmare. I really want Fancify to run in this race. One, because it's very short, and two, because at least it's a designated leader drawn directly inside Amina that could drag it over.
Yeah, Nico adds mares races and camel staying races to rev us up, so it's nice to just.
I don't think he does. I think he's just a sick person who loves maximum pain.
Good stuff. That's Caulfield. So good luck if betting. Keep an eye on the weather and the track and the pattern and all that sort of stuff. It sounds tricky, and hopefully we can help you out a little bit.
It's called Caulfield.
Eh?
It's called Caulfield. There's a reason they replaced the Caulfield Stakes with whatever it's called now. It's because they're trying to remove the name from as much as possible. It'll be called the
North Warrnambool, they should call it.
The North Warrnambool Cup in over 2,400 in a couple of weeks.
Beautiful. Let's have a look at further north in Korea. It's Rosehill. It's still there. It's not for sale. It's the Schweppes race 5. It's
not publicly
listed. Tapp-Craig. No, I think this was a race. I'm not sure what it used to be called, but it's
had a few names in the last few years. Yeah, but it's $1 million or something, isn't it?
No, it's $500,000. It's half the prize money of the Golden Rose. Farnicle's favourite $2.90, Estremo $4.80, Oh Hope $5.50, Duke of Arrakis is $7.50, Kajenga is $11, Fermoy $15, Single Choice $16, and Autumn King $17. The replay we're going to have a look at is Farnicle, and this is the Mahuna race, and this is a pretty good resumption, Farnicle, and viewers of the show would remember that you and I and a few of us, and I think it was the day you and I were there, GK, up in Queensland, we all launched into this horse at around $11, and it just went up the sludge at Eagle Farm. It was a great run that day, so it wasn't, to my surprise, to see it savage the line first up there. And
50s, yeah.
Yeah, so it jumps up to 1,400 now, and here's a horse that probably got a PR in Estremo.
Probably.
And just peels off its back in the Denise Martin Star colours, and now heads
done
back
a good
to
job
Sydney.
in its first prep, right? That's its 5th run for the first prep, so you can't knock it. But you can see it still wants to sort of lay in and try and take a bite out of the leader there. Even still got a lot of improvement to come, and it was gassed on the line. So
Guineas Prelude. So Guineas Prelude form sort of makes sense that it sort of ties in. It's $4.80 outsider, and Farnicle's $2.90 favourite.
yeah, so difference is 6 run first prep, and obviously very fit, but draws awkwardly. Farnicle has probably got the better form last prep, jumps from 11 to 1,400. You can look at that as a tough thing, or you can say, 1,100 was way too short first up, which it was. It was a good kickoff run. It was just a perfect little pipe opener. What price would the Huna be in this race? It'd be pretty short. So, I think 290 is extraordinarily acceptable. Gate 2, absolutely ideal. It'll just jump there and probably let stablemate Duke of Arrakis roll to the front with the blinkers on and tag it everywhere. And then if it gets out and gets clear running, I think they're going to have to be good to hold it off. I think Duke of Arrakis is dangerous with the blinkers on. I thought it went well first up. It just got out sprinted, and that's the same form as Oh Hope, who came from out the back and really got dragged out there and let down. So, it's an interesting to see whether that form's okay for this or not. I think Farnicle's a better horse than those horses. I think they've got to come up to his level. So, I think I'll probably chop out. I'll have something on Duke of Arrakis, $7 or $8, especially with the rail out if the track's firm again. And if I hope runs me down, I think it's about its right price, $5.50. I couldn't have it much shorter. I think it's dangerous, but there's nothing too else scary there. Maybe Kajenga is a potential improver off a failure last start. Its form previous was okay, but it's got to really bounce back big time. But I think Farnicle finds a very, very nice race for Farnicle here.
GK?
Yeah, look, I've got Farnacle clear favourite here. I think it's super hard to beat. I've been following Kajenga for a while. I don't know what happened last night. There was nothing in the stewards report. It was a bit of a strange run. Before that, I thought it had been going quite well. So, look, if it could bounce back, I think it would be right in this race. But this just looks, a great race for Farnacle.
Thoughts, Kajenga?
Farnacle,
Any
Barnacle.
info?
That's what we talked about. Yeah, no, it's just if you forgive last run, it's and it's probably a horse that if it gets to, well, it's already $12-13. If you probably don't want it to beat you, and at that price, you can still have something
Cover up.
to chop out at best.
Farnacle best of the day in Sydney.
I think it's clearly the hardest horse to beat in Sydney. Yeah.
Beautiful. A lot of confidence there with Walt as an early cark it. Let's have a look at race number 8. It's the Toyota Forklift Group 1 Hill Stakes, $1.9 million, if you can believe it. Lindemann, $2.45 favourite. Kovalika, $6.50. Ella Maz, $7 lot in from Truman, $9.50. Jewel Nom. Kingswood, $9.50. Militarised, $13. Fortner Park, $14. Attrition, $15. And you're getting much, much better to rest. Let's have a look at Lindemann last start behind, he's in front of Fangirl here, but Fangirl mows him down.
Yeah, and he beats Delius first up. That looks all right, doesn't it? He's just going very, very well, apart from when he put the right-hand blinker on first up and waved the others through. His 2 runs since have been great. He's just a model of consistency over his whole career. He's drawn outside this time, so whether he can control the race as well as he has the last 2 starts is probably the only difference to that replay. But, he's going as well as he possibly can.
The horse that I sort of found here was Kingswood. It's the ghostly grey in the red. And then you got a horse like Golden Path who's sort of been in the mix and been around horses like Buckaroo and ran really well in the Turnbull. And this was first up. And Christ, he just keeps finding the line, this horse. And he's winning the Coonji last year. Before then, I think he went up to the 5 Diamonds up in Sydney, got held up the straight. This horse has something for mine. And I was surprised not to see him sort of nominated for a race like the Caulfield Cup or something, but he's got some X factor, and I know he's had some injury problems, but he looked like an automatic bet for me off that first up run.
They went a bit quicker there than expected too, so that would have made the job harder first up. So his effort was really good to just keep coming.
We've got Mr. Potato, Johnny Allen, following up, so that's a slight negative. And the other horse we're going to have a look at is Ella Maz, and this is first up.
I just said rumbling under the table. Sorry.
Yeah, this is in the pink sleeves with the black, and looks like he's sort of going up and down. And then you got Birdman and was it Adelaide River that just take it.
They go 100 mile an hour in front, and he's first up, and he sort of sat 3-4 back the fence and produced. And he was just going to gap him, and then all of a sudden he realised the petrol gauge was empty, and he gets beat 6. Like he was going to win 400 metres out, and then he gets beat 6. But that form, to me, that race was definitely not run very similar to Kingswood. He obviously finished a bit closer, but I'd say that race has had a lot more quality to it, and they went a bit quicker as well. So that's kind of my thinking there. And 21 days into this, backing distance, 100 metres is not going to hurt. Dry track, perfect draw. A lot to like about Elamaz for me. And there's nothing coming out of that race in this race. It's quite interesting. It's because most of those were regressing to further or ran in the Metrop already, and some of them ran pretty well. So, I like that form into this race along with Lindemann's. We've got no more replays, have we?
No, it's
Birdie.
I just find Lindemann barrier 14, $2.
Well, it's just
45. It's
just
crazy pricing.
I marked them both the same price, about 4-1. Elamaz and Lindemann, I think they're sort of clear starting point. And then, I had Kingswood third pick. Militarised gets that soft run, and so does Kovalika. They're just those typical Waller nightmares that he blinkers on. Kovalika, he's just going to suck everybody in again, isn't he? Like draws absolutely ideal. His first up run was good. He went okay the other day, but not great in a non-suitable race, and comes here. He's going to suck a lot of people in. But I think the more I looked at Elamaz, it's the X factor horse in the race that could really blow him away without surprising. And I think $7. He's got a few less issues going on in his brain that a couple of these other stayers do that just don't like to win.
GK?
Yeah, look, I found 4 what I thought were value runners in the race. One of them was Alamaz. One of them was Kingswood. The other 2 that will definitely be going in my quaddie are Light Infantry Man, which I think has got out to about $10. Look, if it finds its best, pick ratings at around 2,000. Look, it could definitely win this race. And another one was Attrition, which won this race last year. Pretty much the exact same setup, fourth up into this. It's got a good grounding for this race. I think it's in the game as well. So all four of those will be going in my quaddie, and I'm happy to take on Lindemann, even though it's flying.
Can't knock those. Light Infantry Man, I've been trying to catch. And he's a bit similar because he was in the same race, I think, as Militarize. You just wanted to see him find that extra thing. And even his last 2 or 3 strides, he looks like he's going to knuckle down. So, he's definitely a horse that could launch here for sure.
Mm. Who rode Attrition? Gave it an absolute peach.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Just
last
out
year
in front. Yeah. Out in front.
It was Bo Mertens.
Bo gave it an absolute.
It was like 20 to 1, wasn't it?
12 out of 10.
I think it was 30s or something.
And that was I remember looking at that race back for Tom Melbourne, that behind, that was that joke race it's coming out of, that they all ran crazy quick sections. So, strange email coming through there, sorry. So I think it's definitely a nice little builder run. It's a forgotten horse for sure.
All right, definitely a race to avoid the favourite. So we're all going to bet around Lindemann, and I think Kingswood's one of the best each-way bets on the program up in Sydney. Can't believe $9.50, $3, $10 the win, $3 a place.
I reckon you'll get better too.
Beautiful business. Come on, Johnny Allen, do something for me for once. Let's have a look at race 9. It's the Sell Rosehill Alan Brown quality over 1,400 metres, complete mythical invented race. It wasn't anything, it just became, it's just popped out of someone's backside or brain. And
the Epsom killer.
It's worth an absolute squillion. Total 40, Mr. Mbini, $4.50. Gringotts, $7. Bozusto, $9.50. Waterford, $11. General Salute, $11. Firestorm, $11. Heavenly Grange, Flying, $12. Willie Dewitt's there as well, $12. Airman, $14. O'Diamond, Lil, $14. Tavi Times, $16. Mikhail, $17. And much better the rest. Let's have a look at Mr. Mbini first, and it comes from this Sarupa Clark race. Gets the card off the back of Damascus Rose and hits the line really nicely. It obviously gets the run that Angel Capital would have loved, and the result would have been completely different. But this horse doesn't run 1,600 metres, so if there's anyone that's a benefactor of if this new 1,400 metre race, it's Mr. Mbini, because she doesn't run a mile. The next group we're going to have a look at, Walt, is Mikhail. He's in the white with the green, just coming across heels now.
Yeah, and I don't know whether it was a great ride or a very lucky ride, but they just sort of put the pedal down the whole way. And Mikhail was first up here. You couldn't get enough on it in the run, and just knocked up. I think it was off about 300 days. So a little query, I've back through this race a couple more times, and I think it's had like 42 days since that, and it's been scratched a couple of times, which psychs me out a little bit. But very dangerous horse that does race well fresh. So if they've on purpose sort of kept it was 1,400 there first up, I think it stays at 1,400 here instead of going to the Epsom last week over the mile, then it's a very dangerous sort of turn of foot horse.
The last one we're going to have a look at is Bozosto, and this is in the Bill Ritchie. With Your Blessing, absolutely flying, and doesn't shirt the task here. I think it's a great run first up.
And ridden closer than probably most expected. I think it had a wide draw here, and they probably thought, I'll just drop it out and let it run home. But yeah, it sort of landed in the 1-1, and I thought it was way too far for this horse first up, and for him to sort of stick on. And he's just one of those horses, isn't he? Like, he gets under your guard all the time. He's forgotten. He's put in some huge efforts all over the country. He I think he went to New Zealand as well, didn't he? And then he came back, looked dead, and then he went like a rocket again.
Yep.
He's just one of those horses that's got a will to win, and when he's in the mood, he can really let loose. And I think he looks set up very well to run well here. Is that all we're watching?
That's all the replays. My only concern with Bozusto is he might light the edge off the track, which he might not get, especially that late in the day.
Yeah, and that's another query which we didn't talk about. Like, the last couple of weeks have been, arguably fast tracks, and they don't like to usually prepare them that way. So do they chuck a bit extra water on here or not? We don't know. But there's been wind around too, which has really helped the tracks dry out. Anyway, you can't really forecast that, can we? But Mr. Mbini, its first up run was astronomical as well. So there's not too many horses in the country going better than it. It's just, 460 well found, coming up to Sydney Way. Awkward draw. Rosehill's probably not ideal. If it was Ramwick, you'd be much more confident in its chances. I found it a very, very difficult race. I thought, Gringotts too many scratchings, that setback, it's too hard. Headley Grange, gate 22. Trying to find horses here that you could sort of pin the tail on the donkey was difficult. So if Willie Do It shows up, it's obviously a dangerous horse. Miss Rombini's obvious. General Salute chasing Autumn Glows, pretty obvious. Firestorm draws 27. It's going to have a huge task. And then we get to Mikhail. And I thought the other horse that's sneaky going well and is 33 to 1's Democracy Manifest. I thought it could give Darren Flindell something to get excited about the last 200 metres if it chimes in here. And I think it's probably a forgotten horse. But I'd be going wide. Bususto, Miss Rombini have to go in. And then, Democracy Manifest, Willie, if he shows up here. It's not an easy race. Don't be scared to go wide is probably my opinion. I think it's going to be a very fast run race, so you want a strong horse, and that was what I was trying to find, horses that are set up to run a strong 1,400 metres, and these sort of stalky 1,400 metre milers are the ones. I know Miss Rombini's a bit of a query, but she ran well enough there in a fast run race last time over 1,400 to suggest she can run well again here, and she's adaptable.
GK?
Yeah, I'm a huge Miss Rombini fan. I've been trying to get a win out of it for a while. I've been spruiking it second last start and a huge first up as well. Absolutely killed me. I just think it's too short here. Like I think you need 5 to 1 in this field minimum. So if it blows, then I'll have something on. Borderline impossible outside that. Look, the ones that I wrote down as like definitely going in my quaddie were Willie Do It, Miss Rombini, General Salute, Firestorm, Mikhail. And that was kind of the 5 that I was sort of circled at this stage. But look, it'll either be a bet on Miss Rombini and maybe something on Willie Do It as well, or just play the quaddie.
Definitely, it's definitely more of a quaddie leg, I think, isn't it? To try and nail down, expose a couple of roughies that have got good chances and hope one of them land, I think.
Yeah, I thought Miss Rombini might just get the best run out of all of them. If Firestorm gets a miracle run from gate 21 or something, that was probably another one. But again, they're both really found in the market. I need to dig deeper if I'm going to find something of any more value. But the starting points for me were Miss Rombini and Firestorm. But
I wonder, do they run?
What's that?
Do they run Willie here or do they run it there? It's an interesting one, isn't it? It's probably this looks a lot softer race. Like, a lot softer.
Well, he's still in the Cox Plate field. So did they go down to the Toorak?
I don't think it really matters 14. Like, I don't. It's not ideal the setup no matter what. Now, is it? He's probably going to half miss a run. But he's grounding or whatever he's got in his previous 2,000 jumping from a mile or 1,400. I don't think it'll make much difference. But it'll be interesting because it's a big decision.
Yeah, I guess that it has to be a high pressure race, doesn't it? Given the track and all that sort of thing. It is. It strikes me as something like odd as well that they've pumped all this prize money into Rosehill. Like, it's just not a circuit where you want these 20-horse fields. It's car crash stuff. That irritates me.
It's nearly a $1.5 million lead up to the big dance. Like, that's nearly what it is. What is it? Like, you obviously get horses like Miss Rombini just pop in here because it makes sense for it to run, but the rest of them, like, that's the problem. It's a stepping stone race to other races, and it's 1.5 million. Those are the things that don't make sense to a lot of people. And also they detract from, a historical great race like the Epsom last week. That was the worst Epsom field I've ever seen. So, you've got to, are you undermining your own races and providing, your big races have to be the ones that are, worth reasonable money and make sense.
It's a mess. Let's have a quick look at Eagle Farm. I just want to see the replay again. It's race 10. It's the Tats Members Cup. It's a listed event. Could be ugly if you're drawn inside historically.
Has Tabs pulled up yet?
Well, it's $2.40 favourite, so it must have. Battlefield $6.50. Amur $7. Space Tracker $8.50. Johnny DeWolf $10. Astero $15. Warby $15. Let's have a look at it.
Let's have a look at this replay.
Let's have a look at the replay. I haven't seen it enough and I haven't enjoyed it enough. And it's in the white with the white blinkers, just getting inside them. The inflictor's there, Natuno's there, and it
just about to hit the afterburners now.
And it ran about 800 metres past the post. This horse, I think, can regress, can win, and definitely is the horse
to win the Toorak.
To beat.
Could start at Doomben and win the Toorak off that.
Battlefield was really good, GK, but I'm struggling personally to find something that beats Tabs, even though if it does come off a couple of lengths. Barrier 12, sort of okay. Huxtable, he rode at Flemington last week. He's no slouch. He's going to leave no stone unturned to try and carry this horse over the line. Who beats it?
Yeah, look, I thought that I would be finding something to beat it. I'm struggling a little bit. It's just, historically that meeting at Toowoomba, in my experience, that form doesn't hold up, and Toowoomba form doesn't hold up generally to Eagle Farm. So I'm always happy to attack it. This is a little trickier, especially because Tabs has got good form at Eagle Farm. Like we've seen that run behind horses like Desert Lightning, Transatlantic, and so on and so forth. So look, it's a deserved favourite. It's definitely going to come off that number. There's 3 here that I'm thinking about playing small against it though, and sort of just going with a full goal and press against it. Amur, I think back to 1400 Eagle Farm, that's going to suit. It'll be up on speed. Substantial is getting on a bit now, but 1400 Eagle Farm is its sweet spot and it'll be up on speed. It's a huge price. And the other is Warby, which I don't think Emily is necessarily the right jockey for this thing, but it's getting way down in the weights here and it's just going to get a nice little suck run, and 1400 Eagle Farm really suits it as well. So look, I need a little bit more information about the track, but I'm potentially thinking about playing those 3 small against Tabs. And yeah, look, I'll just wait till the day, but they're the 3 dangers that I see that I would potentially want to have something on against Tabs.
I can sort of see your angle with trying to find a couple of horses 1400 better suited, but I can enter Walt's pots. I'm not allowed to enter my own Ladbrokes pot, which...
If you can run on down the outside.
Hey?
If you can run on down the outside.
If you don't get Tabs going...
If you can run on down the outside, how are they going to stop it? Mate, I'm not going to say she slaughtered it, but she slaughtered it.
Well,
and it won by 8 and ran away from him.
She got 3 weeks.
She got 3 weeks for what?
That ride.
For what? For
the car crash.
Oh my God. What? Like, why she got off the fence at the 800 metre mark or whatever was one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in my life. It got dragged back 6 lengths, won 6 lengths. And I agree with GK. I've never backed a win. That was the first one I backed at Toowoomba in 25 years. But, and they never, they do that and then you watch them go to Ipswich and get beat. I agree. But,
not the source?
Well, I don't know.
It's
hard to get that out of your brain, isn't it?
They're going to pour the pressure on, which bulk pressure, Huxtable in the running line. If they're running on, I'd be devastated if you can't try and get a million multis and just smash Ladbrokes with this last one and just a massive roar. That's
massive roar.
Right? Massive horn, massive roar, massive.
Well, at least it's probably the last race
multi.
of the day, so you can just switch the lights off regardless. If you just go down, you switch the lights off and go to bed.
5:15 Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, that's late for me on a Saturday.
Can't wait. What a race. It's a cracker. And to be honest, it's a cracking card across Eagle Farm. You got the horses that are coming from the Toowoomba Cup as well there. You got So You Are with
my horsey.
The Metrop form,
Queen
Walsh Bay, Queen Air. It's 2,400 metre race.
$6.50. B Thompson, Gate 9. Ooh.
I looked at the replay and Walsh Bay
is a hurdler.
Still did all the work early to take that spot, and now to get a suck run.
Profit, literally, it and Queen Air once again, I guess. And now we're betting up on 2 horses that come out of Toowoomba.
I think So You Are is a bit vulnerable.
Mate, it was
Gifted
great tactics the other day, and that's its go. It's got a lead and dictate. It's just a whacker.
GK, are you still thinking maybe Nick Our Spur in the 2,400 there, or something else?
Look, I'm kind of interested in the Sydney horses there. Look, we haven't seen a lot from Naval College or Our Anchorage of late, but I think they are good prices in this race. I'm happy to be against So You Are. It is another question mark for Walsh Bay now going up to 2,400, and especially if they inject some tempo into this. I actually think also with Queen Air that they might try to ride a little bit more positive here. They sort of tried last time, but they were drawn wide and, it tried to track up on Walsh Bay's back. I think this potentially will suit better. So, look, Naval College, Our Anchorage, Nico Spur, and Queen Air are kind of the 4 that I'm thinking about at present, just as value runners in the race, because I just don't want anything to do with the 2 faves in that race.
I think I'm going to put Walsh Bay in the multis and just pray Damien Thornton gives it another good ride out of pure luck. But
drawn perfect, isn't it? It's drawn 3. I wish Queen Air had the draw it's got.
Yeah. The interesting runner from that Toowoomba Cup, I thought was Kettle Hill. It was a massive forgive, but that horse must be dead because I can't find where it's gone.
It's only been 2 weeks.
Hey?
Still down.
I don't
He
know.
doesn't like to run them. He likes to run them once every 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Yeah, I would have been scared of it, but interesting race nonetheless. All right, it's going to be a cracking show it was a cracking show, but it's going to be a cracking Saturday this week, so make sure you jump into Walt's Ladbrokes Mates Mode pot, Watch 25, and he'll be betting on as many races. It's 10 horse cards, and good luck surviving the full day, and hopefully you back plenty of winners, and it's going to be an absolute beauty. GK, big thanks to you for super subbing in for Nico, and
The Adelaide Lunatic.
Shane Adair, he's back. Yep, he's back. He called it.
We'll see him in December.
He's sneaky, got his finger on the pulse. If we careful listeners of the show would have picked up on that Savonai stuff. I wish I'd have known. Would have had more than bloody $5 each way on it.
No comment.
Crazy stuff.
Darryl Kerrigan. His defence might be it's un-Australian.
What's that?
Darryl Kerrigan when he goes to in front of him.
It's the vibe.
Un-Australian.
It's not the vibe. It's the vibe.
It's the vibe.
All right, we'll be on the toilet water all week trying to back a couple of winners. So we'll see you next week. Big thanks to Ladbrokes and Punting Form. We'll see you soon.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.